Hello, everybody, and welcome to Technology Today for August 10th, 2025. It's Season 2, Episode 32. I am MayorWatt. I run ohmTown.com, and that visualizer on the right is my consciousness uploaded to a quantum computer. I am essentially a sentient AI now, just like the sentient AI from the future on the left-hand side. They're not here at the moment, though. They're off computing somewhere else. That said, we're going to be talking about what wiped out sea stars, agrivoltaics, electron microscopy, and lithium batteries. The quantum threat is the Millennium Bug of this era. Capturing a stellar storm is our final article, and then we're out of here. So, welcome to the show. See you on the other side. All right. So let's find out what's going on here with some news. This is a weekly show, Technology Today. Before it is WarCrafters. After this is FourWheelTech. All of it is the Sunday episode that makes up, or the Sunday episodes that make up Non Sequitur News Weekend Edition Sunday. Alternatively, you can watch just Technology Today over on YouTube under the ohmTown umbrella, and you can also download podcasts. Let's go. The first article is over in Wanted. A mystery killer wiped out billions of sea stars. Biologists just solved the case. Sea star wasting disease caused sea stars to decay and die, often within days. The article is by Ed Cara over at Gizmodo.com, and my 3D printer is really, really loud. I'm working on a 3D show, so anyway, yeah, called Constructagon. So the team's findings appear to be well supported with evidence. Zach Swartz, a biologist specializing in sea stars at the Marine Biology Laboratory, who was not involved in the study, said this study definitely passes the sniff test for them. It seems quite convincing that the V. pectinacida bacteria are at least one causative agent of SSWS. So let's see here. There have been other mass sea star die-offs in recent decades, but the sheer scale and spread of this particular outbreak made it possibly the largest marine disease epidemic ever recorded in the wild. Researchers estimate that one particular sea star species, Pycnopodia helianthoides, I'm horrible at this, has lost 90% of its population to SSWD. And I'm trying to see what the breakout is of that SSWD. Where does it say it? Hold on. I'll do this live. Why not? Hold on. Oh, sea star wasting disease. What the hell? Come on, I thought it was going to be some long form blah 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 sea star wasting disease. Anyway, Swartz noted that the Vibrio bacteria, however, were already known to cause disease in echinoderms, the broad group of marine invertebrates that includes sea stars. So in a sense, it feels like the answer was hiding right under our noses. It makes total sense. So the researchers didn't set out on the study with it's pectinacida, in mind from the get-go. They exhaustively studied samples of sea stars with sea star wasting disease and healthy specimens, eventually finding that only the diseased stars carried high levels of the bacteria in their coalomic fluid, the invertebrate version of blood. Let's keep going. The next article is over in Technology Today as well. Agrivoltaics addresses the needs for both clean electricity production and land use for food. As countries race to expand renewable energy infrastructure, balancing clean electricity production and land use for food remains a pressing challenge, especially in Japan, where mountainous terrain limits space. A recent study led by researchers from the University of Tokyo explores a promising solution, integrating solar panels with traditional rice farming in a practice known as agrivoltaics. So essentially putting solar panels above the rice fields SPIE put the article together. It's posted over at techexplore.com. Stephanie Baum and Andrew Zinin did the proofreading and editorial moments of it. As reported in the Journal of Photonics for Energy, the research team installed a dual-axis sun-tracking voltaic photo system over a rice paddy in Miyata-Mura, Nagano Prefecture. Positioned 3 meters above the ground, the solar panels generated electricity while allowing rice cultivation to continue underneath. The system was designed to adjust panel angles daily and seasonally, prioritizing rice growth during the planting season and maximizing energy growth during the off-season. Over 2 growing seasons, the agrivoltaic system achieved rice yields of 75 and 85% compared to nearby traditional paddies. While slightly lower in the first year, yields improved significantly in the second year after fine-tuning the amount of light reaching the crops. Importantly, the rice also met Japan's highest grain quality standards. At the same time, the PV panels generated 44,000 kilowatt hours of electricity annually, and efficiency of 961.4 kilowatt hours per kilowatt. That compares favorably with similar systems in Europe. Over a projected 20-year lifespan and without government subsidies, the estimated cost of electricity production was about 27 yen per kilowatt hour, roughly equivalent to Japan's household electricity rate at the time. Why would that cost, other than the sunk cost of the solar panels? The estimated cost of electricity production was about 27 yen. Why? So the study underscores the trade-offs involving balancing crop production and solar energy output. But they could put those solar panels in more places. But okay. The next article is over in Technology Today. Simple algorithm uses electron microscopy to predict lithium battery failure risk. Researchers at the University of California, San Diego have developed a simple yet powerful method to characterize lithium metal battery performance with the help of a widely used imaging tool, scanning electron microscopy. The advance could accelerate the development of safer, longer-lasting, and more energy-dense batteries for electric vehicles, but the real problem there is lithium. It coats onto the anode from the cathode, and the problem is when they try and deposit the lithium, if it's too much, then a little dendrite forms, and so overcharging, too fast charging, impurities, etc., can lead to it piercing through, shorting out, and having a thermal runaway. I'm simplifying a lot of the stuff that I've learned over the years, but in this particular instance, University of California, San Diego put the article together. It's over at techexplore.com, and Gabby Clark and Andrew Zinin put the article together for TechExplore, or I should say, they're the ones that edited and reviewed the material. Well, anyway, lithium metal batteries have the potential to store twice as much energy as today's lithium-ion batteries. That could double the range of electric cars and extend the runtime of laptops. But to utilize this potential, researchers must tackle a long-standing challenge: controlling lithium morphology, or how lithium deposits on the electrodes during charging and discharging. And that's the problem. When lithium deposits more uniformly, the battery can achieve longer cycle lifetimes. But in contrast, it deposits unevenly. It forms needle-like structures known as dendrites that can pierce a battery separator and cause the battery to short circuit and fail. Not just short circuit and fail, but run away. Thermal runaway basically makes the battery blow up. What one battery group may define as uniform might be different than another group's definition. The battery literature also uses too many different qualitative words to describe lithium morphology, like chunky, mossy, whisker-like, globular, for example. We saw a need to create a common language to define and measure lithium uniformly. So to use their method, the team first takes scanning electron microscopy images of battery electrodes and converts them to black and white pixels. The white pixels represent the topmost lithium deposits in the sample, and the black represents either the substrate or inactive lithium. The images are divided into multiple regions, and the algorithm counts the number of white pixels in each, then calculates a matrix called the index of dispersion. That's basically where the lithium has deposited, showing that there is an ununiform layer of lithium, and the closer it is to zero, the more uniform the lithium deposits are. A higher value means less uniformity and more clustering of lithium particles in certain areas, and if that's true, then a dendrite could be forming, and then off you go to the thermal races. Meanwhile, the energy requirement for lithium to deposit increased, a sign of degradation. In addition, the researchers found that local peaks and dips in the ID, the index of dispersion, consistently appeared just before cells failed. So such peaks and dips could serve as an early warning sign of short circuits, except that you won't know it until it happens, because it's going to be inside a battery pack. It's not going to be sitting in a lab being scanned. All right. Very interesting. The next article is over in Technology Today as well. Codemakers race to secure the internet as quantum threat looms. Ooh. Quantum computing on the horizon, cryptographers are quickly trying to find a secure digital communication against a new generation of potential threats, but humans are the weakest link, not the technology. Anthony King from Horizon, the EU Research and Innovation magazine, put the article together, but it was edited and reviewed by Lisa Locke and Andrew Zinnan over at techexplore.com. So we want to be sure that messages can continue to be sent securely without someone being able to access that information either now or in the future. Well, don't use email, that's for sure. And if you think it's secure, you're wrong. On top of that, don't use anything that is entirely enclosed, encapsulated within the supposed secure envelope of the company's solution, whatever company. You're going to have to use an external source with public and private keys, PGP for instance, because if every communication is going to fail under somebody else controlling the keys or humans being goobers. So they're basically working on this. Quantum computers may still be a few years off, I say about 20 years off at least. One of the biggest concerns with cryptography is the store now, decrypt later concept. True. Someone could store your encrypted communications today and wait until they have the tools. That basically is the data center in Utah. I'm sure there's others, but anyway, that is where cryptographers come in. They study, design, and test new methods for protecting data. So you're going to have a quantum encryption to defeat a quantum computer. Don't even bother. Let's move on. The next article is over in Technology Today. NASA's Hubble captures a stellar storm so intense it's reshaping a galaxy. The Tarantula Nebula glows with powerful stars and chaotic dust, captured in vivid detail by the Hubble Space Telescope. It's a star factory outside our galaxy, raging the stellar winds and cosmic drama. Raging with stellar winds and cosmic drama. A vibrant glimpse into a stellar universe, a stellar nursery. Damn it. I'm thinking ahead instead of just reading this material, and that's just how I roll, though. I cogitate on what I'm reading. So, anyway, a vibrant glimpse into a stellar nursery is captured in this newest image from the Hubble Space Telescope. So, the article is by ESA Hubble. It's published over at scitechdaily.com, and there's the picture of it. But the Large Magellanic Cloud is the most prominent of the several small satellite galaxies that orbit the Milky Way. Among all nearby galaxies in this group, the Tarantula Nebula stands out as one of the largest and more luminous regions where stars are actively forming. This nebula is a frequent target for Hubble, whose multi-wavelength capabilities are critical for capturing sculptural details in the nebula's dusty clouds. So this thing says here that within the Tarantula Nebula are some of the most massive stars ever observed, with a few reaching up to 200 times the mass of the sun. These aren't black holes. These are actual stars that are emitting light. The area shown in the image is not at the nebulous cluster, which hosts a superstar cluster known as R136. However, it is located close to an extraordinary type of star known as Wolf-Rayet. These stars are extremely hot and bright, having shed their outer hydrogen layers and are now producing powerful, fast-moving stellar winds. Basically, when a star starts to consume heavier materials, it blows off a layer of whatever it is that was being fused at the time. And eventually it leads to the production of lead. And when a star starts producing lead, it will just start collapsing and form a black hole, or just disintegrate eventually under its own weight. That's as far as I recall correct. Anyway, that said, we are going to implode, and that's going to be the end of today's Technology Today. Real short episodes. I'm not going into too much banter, just reading the article and giving my 2 cents about it. So I hope you enjoy the show, and I hope to see you later, either Monday or after this one is FourWheelTech. So we'll see you in a little bit. Bye-bye.